Hello and welcome to another episode of the Top Bid 90 show, one of the greatest shows in Charlotte. Today I've got some very special guests with me. Today I've got Lee from CLTFC Fan TV, and I got Nick who tweets sports, correct?
That's right.
Nice. Boys, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing pretty good. Hope you guys are doing well too.
Yeah, you guys feeling a little bit of the fall weather now?
Man, I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it just to knock off that humidity. It's still a little warm in the afternoon, but yes.
I like stepping outside of my house and not just instantly starting to sweat, you know?
Are you guys like the pumpkin spice guys or no? Like, is that not your thing?
I can mess with like the pumpkin spice, the coffee stuff, the pumpkin spice latte. I'm not someone who's
Did you just bring up PSLs?
Of course I did. This is a great topic to start. But I'm not someone who's like pumpkin everything.
No.
Yeah.
No. Do you go trick-or-treating?
Do I do
I kind of have to with the kids.
Yeah, you say that, but that's for you, right?
Oh, hell yeah, man. Bring me those milk duds. Yeah. Let's go.
Nice.
So we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We'll talk a little bit about the Premier League. We'll also get into the Champions League. And also, we will be giving away one of these Bojangles scarves from Charlotte FC.
That's
so
awesome.
Stay tuned and you'll learn how to win one.
Yeah,
so.
those are a nice summer scarf, man.
It is, man.
Yeah.
It's really good quality as well.
Let me feel it real quick. Yeah, like after you eat some chicken, man, you can probably wipe your fingers on that, man. Really good, yeah.
It's just radiating chicken supreme.
That's right. It's got some bone rounds going on, I swear.
Nice, man. So let's get into it a little bit then. In the Prem, four-way tie at the top right now. You've got Chelsea, you've got Liverpool, you've got Man United, and also Everton sneaking in there as well. And Spurs aren't that far behind, right? 9 points.
Yeah, man. But you know, okay, I think Everton took off with it last year, right?
Yeah.
And Everton's gonna Everton, right? Just
to be fair, you guys did too, though.
No, that's what I was about to say,
Yeah.
right? Like Spurs does the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
So I think personally, if there was an international break, we'd still be top of the league. But whatever.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I think right now, just looking at the games that have been played, I think it's pretty safe to say the top crop is both the Manchester clubs, Liverpool and Chelsea.
Yeah.
And right behind are probably Spurs and Leicester.
And we saw Ronaldo kind of doing the Ronaldo thing, you know, with 2 goals in his debut back at Old Trafford.
I mean, you know, I rate Ronaldo, but
Yeah.
I mean, Newcastle. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
right? It would have been anybody that was up top
Right.
would have scored, right?
Yeah.
But you know, kudos to him to get that out of the way. And you know, Man United's got a tough team, man. They're a tough team, but I still think it's Chelsea's.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think Chelsea is going to be probably the toughest team to beat for anyone right now.
Right.
What are you giving Man City's chances? I mean, you guys went in for a striker. Well, you went in for Kane.
Sure.
That was the guy you wanted.
Yeah.
But
Couldn't afford him.
I feel like
Couldn't afford him.
in the midst of going for Kane, you kind of missed out on both Messi and Ronaldo.
Sure, you know, I can extrapolate a little bit on that.
Uh-huh.
And everything I read and heard was that the previous summer, so about a year ago, we had kind of started talking with Kane too, and he was really open to it. But then Messi sent the fax, and Messi called Pep, and we basically just put everything for Kane off because we thought we had a chance to get Messi.
Uh-huh.
That didn't obviously happen. Laporta, right? The previous guy didn't let him leave. And then when it happened again this summer, that we were just like, look, we're not going to do this song and dance again, you know. And we thought
Too much damage.
Thought we could get Kane, but you know, we fell flat in our face with that. So.
No, I'd say you got levied.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, whatever.
I would hate to do business with him, right? And I think that kind of hurts and helps Spurs in some ways, but definitely hurts.
Right.
But back to Kane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a buyout clause,
Sure.
except for Kane,
Yeah.
right? And I blame
He
that
needs a
on
better
his
agent.
agent, which happens to be his brother,
Yeah.
right? And we've even offered him to sign a new contract with us, pay him more money, and I'm sure he could negotiate a buyout clause in there, maybe $200 million or whatever.
When's
right?
his contract up? Do you
We got
know?
2.5 more years.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sucks for him.
He's got a bad agent.
So, I mean, Levy's not going to let him go. He's not going to let him go. You come knocking on the door, 150, 200, you know, and obviously kind of like we had talked about before, his contracts run down, right?
Yeah.
It's the price would definitely go down.
Sure.
But right now the club's got the clout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so be it. So, City, you don't have a striker.
Yeah.
No, we don't. And just to go back to what you said, I think if everyone can stay healthy, I think we'll get a good as chance as anyone else.
Okay.
But it's so tough, though. These guys are just playing, like, you just
Every
come off the
3-4
international break.
days,
Then they got the Champions League. And then they got the Premier. Then they got the Cups.
Yeah.
And then they got the International again. And then they got the Champions.
Yeah.
It's a lot of football.
One of the things that I didn't factor in when we were talking about Liverpool is I think we've got a really good shot. But I forgot that the African Cup of Nations is in January.
So see you later.
The toughest time of the year. We're gonna lose both Salah and Mane. I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like, and then these guys don't get a break, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the
they
ones that are really top of their game, they're either in the Euro, they're over here playing, the Gold Cup or whatever, or wherever they're from. There's that summer tournament, right? And then they come back and then they play in the Prem again, and then the next summer it's like, dude, they're just playing year round for 5-6 years.
I mean, just in the Premier League, you have the Premier League, the 2 cups, and then if you're, then you might have a European Cup too. So that it's a lot. I think I read something that City had the most players play the most minutes out of all the internet, off the team. So, well, like I said, if we can stay healthy, I think it's great. But I do think you guys are bringing up a great point. That there's so many games and it's so tough in the Prem.
Is this whoever wins this season of the Premier League? Is this the greatest Premier League to ever be won? Does that make sense?
It's a little too early to call, right?
Because I mean, you have a strong team in Chelsea with Tuchel on board. You've got Klopp's Liverpool, you got Pep's Man City, and you got Man United's Ronaldo. I wouldn't say Man United's Ollie.
Yeah.
Ollie's Man United. I would say Ronaldo's Man United. Because even today he was coaching the team at the end.
He got called off though, right? He got subbed out.
And he was coaching from the bench.
I mean, personally I think it's a little too early, but I will say, to your point, that there's a lot of, I would say the top managers for the most part are in the Premier League,
by far.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great. I mean, that league's just owning other leagues, man.
Even like, I guess I don't want to say second tier, but like the title contenders right now, as it stands, is based on it would be like Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, right? Based on the squads, based on the managers.
Yeah, but Everton's sitting in 4th right now.
That's what I'm saying. And then there's that second tier where you have your Spurs with Nuno, you have your Evertons with Rafa, you've got your Leicesters with Brendan. Like even that, like
Brighton's sitting in 6 right now, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Graham's a great.
I mean, I would say, looking at the league as it stands now, not to talk positions, but as it stands now, I mean, like you called out, right? I mean, the top 10, the managers alone are good managers, right? I mean, maybe not Brentford's, but I mean, Brighton's manager, what's his name?
Graham Potter.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about him during the summer when he was like the 12th person to turn down Spurs, right? We kind of rated him, right?
Right.
We said that he's just not at a team that can flash the cash.
Right.
So. And if I think last season they had a real bad run of luck where if they lost a bunch of games where they like dominated possession, had more shots on goal. Like Graham's a great coach, and I think he's definitely bound for something bigger. But going on what you guys said, I mean, there's no contest. Rafa Benitez, Pep, Klopp, as far as people, the heavyweights who have won silverware, there really is no.
And this is why I personally think like whoever, I guess it just depends on how interesting the league is. March. In February, right?
It's going to be that Christmas period, right? It's going to be it, right?
But I think looking at it now, like I can't think of the last time where you looked and you're like, man, there's 4 title contenders for the Premier League this year. It's usually been City dominating and then Liverpool kind of getting in there the last couple of years,
I think it'll be tough to top. Well, the most recent one is when it was City Liverpool, and it came down to
like
the
99
last day.
points.
Yeah. So that's going to be hard to top.
City
that.
are always kind of slow to get going, though, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like we had said on a couple of podcasts before, that like Spurs were lucky enough to play them the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They just wasn't cooked and ready to go.
Yeah.
Right. But then talking about some of the other teams in here, right? I mean, Southampton's always somebody to upset teams, right? And then
West Ham
definitely is going to probably be up there. Crystal Palace with Patrick Vieira. Whatever.
We'll see.
Yeah, but then you got the regular scrubs.
Arsenal.
That's what I was about to say.
Haven't even said them.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say we got the regular scrubs down towards the bottom: Newcastle, Arsenal, Burnley. The ones that typically are at the bottom. You know. So, yeah. Haha, Arsenal. Early days.
Yeah.
You think Ronaldo could win the Golden Boot this year?
I don't see why not. I mean, Kane's not firing, right? And he won it last year. Salah, is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Is he going?
Yeah, he is. I think he's got 3 now.
But like you said, though, and then he leaves in the winter time or whatever.
January.
Right? So, I mean, he's going to be out X amount of games for that.
Yeah.
So that gives Ronaldo a chance to build that up, right? I mean, I don't know. I can look it up real quick while you guys talk.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I personally don't think he can win the Golden Boot. I think there's too many players that are a little bit more fresher.
When you say too many, though, like who? I can think of Kane, Salah, maybe Vardy.
Lukaku,
yeah, that's a good shout.
Lukaku's done. I mean,
he's
Yeah. I mean, he's been banging in goals, man.
You don't have to rate.
Well, I mean, so currently the one with the most goals is Antonio from West Ham. Now he's on fire right now.
Yeah, and Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes, Salah's in third, right? And then
Lukaku's in third too.
Well, I mean, it's tied third, right? So I mean, you start looking down here, and it like.
I guess you're
Ronaldo's
right. Maybe I shouldn't have said too many players, but I just look. If I would be extremely. I'm not saying he's not going to get close or he won't be top 5, but I just think how his age and how many games they have to play. I really feel like he's not going to bag as many.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's already got 3 in 2 games.
Well, but like we're seeing Newcastle, like
young boys.
Yeah, right, exactly. We end up catching the L from. So we'll see. Would I be that surprised? I don't know. I'd be surprised if he won it all, but I think he's gonna score a lot. That's for sure.
You know what? The one thing with that guy though, and I'm probably hopefully I don't jinx him. He does not seem to get hurt. He's never out injured, right? That's true.
Well, the way he takes care of his body too is unreal. Like me and him have a lot in common when it comes to that.
Oh, me too. Well, so he's like, "Hey, man, I'm not eating that burger," and I'm like, "I got it."
Right? If it wasn't for me, Ronaldo wouldn't be this fit.
We're a match made in heaven.
I ate that last extra thing of carbs for him.
Right. Yeah. You gonna eat those fries?
Yeah, exactly.
What about that bread?
Nice. Tottenham, man. I mean, 3 out of 3 wins. Then they go and lose.
Dude, it's typical, man. It's typical. We like we said, if the season ended at the end of August,
right,
we would be champions every year. But what happens is we throw this international break around the same time every year, and then we come out flat, and then for some reason we drop off.
Well, to be fair, all teams do, though.
What do you mean, they come out flat?
Yeah,
No.
after international break, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, I feel like they do. I've seen Liverpool struggle. I've seen Chelsea struggle in the past. Man United, all the top guys.
Man. It seems to hit us worse. Like every manager that we've had in the last few years has bitched about it, so I'm just going to ride that. Right? Mourinho never has excuses, so he said it, right? Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I mean, Kane's not firing. To be fair, we had some players that were held out because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some pretty important players for us at least, right?
Yeah.
Sonny wasn't playing. Celso wasn't playing. We had Eric Van Dyer got hurt. Right? And which was bullshit. And then Sanchez wasn't there.
Yeah.
Celso wasn't there. So we had our spine of players were out. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, awesome, cool. Let's move into the Champions League then a little bit. We've had some interesting games today. Man United taking an L 2-1.
Playing on turf.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Barcelona getting slapped up by Bayern. I feel like it's not like no one was expecting that not to happen, Like if you're a Barca fan, you're optimistic, but like in reality, like you knew okay, like a 3-0 is pretty, it can happen, especially with the window.
Worse.
Yeah, with the window that we had. And I mean, I looked at that front line. I was like, man, we've got Memphis and we've got Luke de Jong.
That's it. I was gonna say. I mean,
oh my god,
who would you buy from Barca right now outside of those two?
Well, I mean, I don't think your window ever opened. They were all sneaking out the back door.
Yeah.
For real, this is the
Right?
worst transfer
Yeah.
window in
You
history.
know, I'm not. I mean, I give you a hard time about Barca and
Yeah.
Real Madrid, and I just pick Real Madrid for the most part because you're a Barca fan, right? But I mean, for you guys, man, like we said, right? Maybe this is a blessing in disguise for you guys to kind of flush house and rebuild.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, they're already doing that. I think like with they got rid of Griezmann, who was making like 22 million or something like that. You know, Messi was making 35 to 40. It's not that we got rid of Messi, but like that like freed up a lot of space in the wages. And I mean, the next guy, I think third is Coutinho, who makes like 15 million.
Right.
So like just off of that, they've already like went under what the cap they needed to. I mean, when they were trying to sign Messi, they were at like 102%, and if they signed Messi, they would have been at like 115 in terms of wage cap.
Right.
Like that's what they were bringing in versus what was going out, and I
Right,
think
right.
now it's at like 70 or something.
Oh, so okay, so you're back in
Yeah,
the
but
real world.
then we're back at 70, but we're still playing the nucleus of the team is crap players that get paid a lot.
Well, you sound like Arsenal did for a while there.
Yeah.
Where they were trapped with a bunch of high dollar players, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't get rid of them and bring their salary cap down. But, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, were you guys able to sign the people that are on the fringes, you know, before?
No,
to
I
bring
mean
them in?
everybody that was brought in was
Basically
a free transfer. I mean,
Yeah.
we sold Emerson to you guys as well to
Yeah.
make some money as well.
Yeah. You're
So
welcome.
we'll see. This Champions League is going to be interesting. So this is my question to you guys. Then what's more realistic, Messi winning the Champions League with PSG, or Ronaldo winning the Premier League with Man United?
I'm going to say the Premier League with Man United. For the
Really?
fact that Man United has won it before. Right?
Hmm.
And I think.
But how long ago though? It's like 8 years ago.
I mean, I don't know, right? History has a way of repeating itself, right? But I would say Man United seem to be stacked, right? All around.
You're
Like
right.
that whole, I think from
PSG is stacked all around.
are they all around though?
Yeah, they
I
are,
think
man.
Yeah.
From the back, I
Yeah.
mean, they had the best window.
Yeah, they're
Sergio Ramos in it
So
in the
PSG,
back.
Man United in the final, right? Right. I'm just trying to think this through, right?
Well, I'm saying like more. No, I'm saying like, can Man United win the Premier League? I'm not saying Champions League.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm
I
giving you
got
two different
Well,
scenarios.
PSG's got that for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
What other competition is
Well, no, I'm saying what's more realistic, like PSG winning the Champions League or Ronaldo winning the Premier League with Man United? Because you know, if one of those two things happen, you know where the limelight's going to one of these two players,
Well, we
right?
already know who the GOAT is.
Yeah, we do. His name's Messi.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo.
You know, I think that everyone always says that because PSG's never made it to a Champions League final, right?
Well, they did.
Oh, that's right, they lost. That's
yeah.
lost. Okay, so
Recently, yeah.
to Bayern. So I'd go with PSG because
Think it's more realistic.
I do, man. I just don't see how a team that has Neymar, Messi,
Mbappe,
Sergio
Sergio Ramos,
their backup.
Donnarumma.
Yeah, the backup goalkeeper.
It's
just won
Keylor
the-
Navas, yeah.
yeah. It's so.
Or, yeah,
I
I
mean,
see what you're saying.
on paper, they have
Yeah.
their front 11 really just goes toe to toe with anyone. So they signed the. I was really honestly more impressed with the guy, the left back they got. Man, from Porto, I think it was the young kid. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
though.
do. I
But
can't think of his name either.
we were after City was after him too, but we didn't want to pay as much, and so I think I really think that if PSG doesn't at least make it to the final, they have to be extremely disappointed.
But okay, I'll argue the point. I always seem to be the one that like bucks the trend just for conversation purposes. I mean, Man United came in second last year in the Prem, right?
Yeah.
And they've stacked up. They brought in some pretty solid players,
Right.
right? I mean,
But so have Chelsea. Chelsea have stacked up.
Chelsea.
City is still City. Liverpool is
Well,
still
City's
Liverpool.
not still City though. In my
Yeah, they
opinion.
did. Who did City get rid of this window?
I mean, all they brought in was Jack.
We brought in Grealish.
That was about it.
Yeah, I mean that's to a team that already won the league last year.
Right? And I'm not taking away from
Yeah.
City at all, but I'm just thinking teams get stronger each year.
Sure.
Are supposed to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like City got any stronger.
With
right?
Grealish.
Yeah, I mean, who's he going to replace? Sterling, right? More than likely. I mean, you know,
The Achilles
see
heel
that.
for me for City this year is just not having a top striker.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
I think last year they got away with it
But, like,
versus like it
yeah,
was
yeah.
more like of a okay, like this is the new style of playing, like no striker. It was
Yeah.
more like okay, like Man United wasn't really there. Liverpool lost everybody.
Mm-hmm.
City has been there, done that, and knows how to do it.
Yeah, it's we definitely need a true number 9. We still need one. I think
Is Jesus not the guy?
no. I think he's played his games that he's played for us this season. We've put him at right wing, and he's just absolutely bossed it. And that's what he plays for Brazil. He plays
Yeah.
on the wings for Brazil, and he does way better. So. I think Pep said it. He's just like, look, I think we're done with. I think he's a winger now. So we'll see what he does with the false 9. I would love for us to have a striker. We don't, but at the same time, I see both of your point because you're right. You can't stand still. That's how Fergie kept United going. He
Yeah.
kept refreshing everybody. So
I mean, KDB, right? He's injury prone now.
sure, yeah,
Right?
he's gotten hurt a lot.
Walker's getting old.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, you
I
still
just
have
I
some
just
solid
think
players.
United and City, United and Chelsea look like the new fancy toy because they've got like new players. Granted, Chelsea's got some success with the Champions
United
League,
just picked
but
up some classics.
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
they also picked up some decent players.
Sancho.
They picked up Sancho.
He's
They
been
picked
really
up.
bad. He's been pretty bad. Sorry.
Who else did they pick up that was really good? I can't think now.
No, I thought
come back
that was it because they kept asking him after Sancho, and I felt like Ole was like, yeah,
Sancho, Ronaldo, and somebody else. I can't think of who else it was.
I think with the 2 players Chelsea got, I think they did the best job of addressing any type
The issues that they
yes,
had. Yeah,
their weakest points.
Yeah.
They definitely got stronger.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
City, I feel,
Yeah.
just kind of sat still.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think it's more likely for PSG to win the Champions League
Yeah.
than Ronaldo winning the Premier League with Man United, just because Champions League is set up as like a cup competition kind of as well. I mean, you look at Chelsea, within 6 months, they went from like not even being top 4 contenders to winning the Champions League. So that's very possible. The only thing I don't like about PSG is it feels like they're a vacation club. Like,
We're all,
like
Dani Alves.
yeah, and then Neymar and Messi went on holiday, like,
That
and then-
Neymar contract bullshit, man. What was that about?
where like the being, what was it like
He gets
being
like
on time?
$375,000 a week or something for being on time.
So
or
I
something
saw like a counterpoint to that, which explained it a little. Apparently, under French sports law or French law, you're not allowed to fine players for certain things.
Okay.
Like it's like a labor law. Like you
dumb. So
can't.
they just put that in place.
Yeah.
Just that
Okay.
way.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
this is
exactly.
part-
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, they
no, I
sold-
thought the same thing. I
They,
was like,
they
what is
sold
this?
that good then in terms of like spinning it negative.
I wish
Yeah,
my work
yeah.
though would say, "Hey, you know what, Lee, man, we're gonna give you $100,000 a week, man. You make sure you're here by 9." I'll be there at 8:30, handing you a coffee, brother.
Yeah.
Trust me. That would. how the
Some
hell-
donuts or anything?
Yeah, man, that's it, man. Go back to Bojangles, get you that steak biscuit, 6 in the buns or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to Man U real quick. Sancho, Varane,
Varane, that's what it was. I knew I was forgetting somebody big.
right? Ronaldo. And
Well, I mean, like he's
Yeah.
a decent defender for what they
Yeah.
have,
they paid
Yeah, for
44
sure.
million for him.
right?
You know,
I mean, what was it?
that's in dollars, American dollars,
Yeah.
by the way.
Ben White cost 50 for Arsenal, right?
Yeah, that was pounds though, right?
Yeah, you're always going to see the English guys when they move from England in the Prem. It's just always going to be a lot more money than really inflate. It's going to be inflated a little bit. That's a better way to say it.
100%. And the more they're English players, the more they cost to stay in England.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the English premium, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right. Well, I think that has something to do because they have to have so many English players.
Yeah, the
in team.
homegrown
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
So that was more of a grassroots effort from the FA from England, right,
Okay.
to get that going.
Any clear favorites that you would say that like okay, like these guys were probably challenged for the Champions League this year?
The Champions League?
Yeah,
I think
I know I'm moving back and forth.
that's okay, right?
Yeah.
We'll just go with the flow. I would think the current champions, Chelsea's probably got a solid shout. Liverpool seem to always do well in the Champions League, right?
And we
That
play
seems
the
to-
same. This is like the fourth year in a row we played Porto in some round. You know,
That's funny. That's
Well,
right. Yeah.
Liverpool always seem to do well in that competition.
yeah, we
right?
play AC Milan.
Yeah.
so
I mean, I
we'll-
don't see. Obviously, we know Barcelona's going to get clapped. Right? I mean, I'm worried about them even when they drop out of the Champions League and go to Thursday nights. Right? I still feel like they're going to get clapped. Real
Funny.
Madrid will be okay, but
Yeah.
Dortmund maybe, man. I don't know.
Atletico is the strongest team from La Liga now, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird to
That
say.
is weird. Yeah.
You
But
know,
I think it's good for the league,
it is good, but like
not for Barcelona fans.
it would be good if Atletico build up to it, because say Real Madrid, it's kind of like, Liverpool and Man City are really good, and Chelsea and Man U build up to it. This time is Real Madrid and Barcelona
Kinda
were really
fell
good,
off.
and they fell down to where Atletico was, and Atletico
Who won the league last year?
Atletico.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm giving you the comparison. It's not like Atletico built itself to be top tier with Real and Barca. It was like Real and Barca kind of fell one or two scales down,
Fair enough.
and then and Atletico did their thing and caught up to where they're at. And at this point, they've surpassed both.
Well, I think the problem with Real Madrid and Barcelona is they both got an aging team, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
And then Fiorentino
hurts.
Perez, he's got no money. He then bids 180 for Mbappe.
that's because they just go over to the country prints the money for him, right? Hey, man, we go to Spain, we need a player.
Yeah.
All right, we're raising taxes.
Right.
For some reason, Javier Tebas is just like, no. The guy's bizarre. No, just going on your point, I think it's any of the top four of the Prem definitely all have a great chance of the Champions League. PSG, Bayern, yeah, and I think Atletico and Real Madrid too. I don't know, I haven't really heard too much from Serie A. I don't know.
Yeah, Serie A,
Like,
I feel like it's like all those teams. I mean, Inter won the league and they looked great, and then they started selling everybody.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they're
So
in
I'm like,
financial
yeah.
problems too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got
Juventus
hit.
lost Ronaldo. They're not
They're
looking good in
doing
Serie
a real
A.
bad start.
I mean, I think even Roma has a chance of winning Serie A this year. I mean, they're 3 for 3 with Mourinho, so
Yeah, well,
So
they
that'll
should
be
winning
crazy if he
stuff again.
does.
Yeah, good for him, man. I mean, he needs to build that CV back up, anyways.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. If he pulls the title with them, that would build his CV.
Yeah. I mean, we bought him for the trophy, right?
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Well, you guys didn't let him play for
Yeah,
his trophy.
you fired him the day before.
I think there must
the
have been
week
a
off.
bonus involved in that, man, because
Probably. And then-
I would have.
But why would you not want to pay that bonus?
Because he's Daniel
and
Levy.
win-
That's what I'm saying.
Daniel
Yes,
Levy.
thank you.
I'm like, bro, like, okay, like, you win a title.
Yeah.
That's what people want.
Yeah. Hey, man, Daniel Levy, man. We got everybody gets levied. Spurs fans and the people trying to buy Spurs players, man.
Very
That's
true.
right,
Very
right.
true.
But he takes care of the club, so
Nice.
whatever.
Also, something that you tweeted today that I thought was interesting that I wanted to touch on today as well was the MLS, man. MLS is in the top 10 highest valued leagues.
Yeah, it was
now.
9th, right?
Yeah, it was 9th. So is MLS one of the top 10 leagues in the world?
Oh, it has to be.
Top 10, yeah.
Okay.
Easily top 10, yeah. Top
yeah.
5,
So,
no way.
do you want me to run through them?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Run
yeah.
through them.
All right. So first, obviously, is Premier League, second La Liga, third Serie A, fourth Bundesliga, 5 League or
League
One.
On.
Liga One.
Yeah. Liga Portugal is 6.
Right?
The Championship in England is 7th. Yeah. And this is based on market value.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. In
Yes.
terms of quality, is the MLS in the top 10?
Let me finish this out real quick. 8th is the Brazil Serie A.
Right? Because
Ninth-
all 8 of those I would say are above.
Right. 9th is MLS, and then 10th is Premier Liga.
But then you've got Premier Liga, that's the Portuguese league, right?
Yes, I believe. No, because Liga Portugal is the
Okay.
Portuguese league, right? So it's
What about the
Premier-
Brazilian league?
That's Brazil Area Serie A.
Okay, that's higher than them.
That's 8th.
Okay,
Yep.
but then I think of like the Eredivisie. I know in value it's not there, but I'm like the quality there is probably better
Yeah, I mean,
than the MLS.
this says most valuable league.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. Like I
So-
get that they're 9th, but my question is MLS a top 10 league
I would.
in terms of quality, in terms of playing, in terms of
Well, let's
because
think
even
about
even
this.
if you really think about it, MLS and Liga MX are like right there in terms of quality,
Yeah.
right? I understand the value portion of the MLS being higher just the type of players we have, the money that's involved here. That makes sense.
Right.
But is it a top 10 quality league?
I would say yes, with a caveat.
Okay.
Because
What's
I
the
mean, where MLS has gone to where they're exporting players now,
right?
right? So why those players are there? They still got the talent, right? But then we kind of ship them off to Italy, Germany, or wherever,
Yeah.
right? And so I feel, in regards to quality, why those key players are in the league. That brings the league up in quality.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing. Say that you look at a Celtics, Rangers, Anderlecht.
But
you look
can't.
at.
I don't think so.
You look at Ajax.
I would say back to the
The
Scottish
Turkish league for Fenerbahce.
Galatasaray.
I mean, the Celtic took
Yeah.
Vickers from Spurs on loan. I mean, that's not bringing in quality like who do you know from?
Yeah, but
Celtic
I'm
that's coming
comparing MLS to the Scottish Premier. The
For
top
quality.
teams in the MLS versus a Rangers and a Celtic. The top teams in the MLS versus Galatasaray and Fenerbahce and these kind of teams. Ajax and I can't think of Ajax and Feyenoord against an LAFC or a Seattle Sounders. Like, is the quality there?
I mean, well, I would say that the MLS All Stars kind of speaks to that.
Well, that's every player altogether.
Well, we're talking about the quality of the league.
Yeah. I think the MLS right now is just a little. I think the bottom part of the MLS is too bad to really.
It drops off quick.
Yeah.
It
That's a
drops
good point.
quick.
Yeah.
To make it kind of stand up to a lot of which I'm pretty sure I think Celtic and Rangers would probably beat the top team in the MLS.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they wouldn't beat them, but we're talking about quality of players throughout the league, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking quality of the league.
The league itself.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would say that I think the bottom is.
I mean,
is a little too.
that can get really nasty because then we can start talking about promotion, relegation, all comes into that, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So,
salary cap, stuff like that.
I was thinking just kind of like players overall versus the leagues and how they're structured themselves.
Okay. Now, I was saying in terms of like the league. Like, are you more interested in watching a Scottish Premier League game or an MLS game? Right. Like, depending. Like, if say Seattle face Columbus Crew, right? Or Seattle face New England, who's doing really great now. Are you more prone to watch that? Or are you more prone to watch a Celtics versus Rangers, a Galatasaray versus
I would just
Fenerbahce?
say, well, it's going to be a Celtic versus Rangers just because of the rivalry and how old that rivalry is, right? Versus Seattle versus Portland, New England. But you start getting down into the lower teams like Dundee United, and all those kind of players in the Scottish League. I'm not going to sit
Hearts.
there. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit there and watch
one's-
Celtic versus Hearts, right? I might watch the Aberdeen because I used to be kind of follow
Yeah,
those
but
guys. But
who would really watch a Dynamo FC Cincinnati would be my counterpoint.
Dynamo and FC Cincinnati fans, I guess.
So Aberdeen and Hearts fans would watch.
I mean, I'm trying to take out the fact that we live in the U.S. and it's probably easier for us to watch the MLS than it is the Scottish division, right? So I'm trying to separate that out of the conversation. But
yeah, I'm just say that like you're somebody in Thailand is my thing, and like you're given an option to watch an MLS game or a Scottish game.
Pick the U.S.
or
game just because of the
Netherlands.
country itself, right? I think America's got some clout.
Which don't get me wrong, I think in the next couple of years that we'll be within that quality range.
Yeah,
Because I think the 3 DPs and the 3 young money players.
Young money players is
that's gonna elevate the league more, especially the young money player.
Right. Yeah, man. So I would personally, I would still say the MLS because there is more El Clasicos or whatever you want to call it, right, against each other, right?
Yeah.
There's more rivalries in the league the way it's structured currently, because, when Charlotte comes in, it's going to be Charlotte, Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville, Charlotte, FC Cincinnati, right? And it's just going to be, there's going to be those sort of bigger games versus where in the Scottish League, you're looking at Celtic Rangers. That's about the only big game, right?
Yep.
And when the Rangers were relegated for all that crap when they went bankrupt or almost went bankrupt, right? Celtic ran away with that thing for
9 years.
Yeah, 9 years, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I would say personally, the MLS for entertainment purposes is probably better than the Scottish League.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think I think it would if Celtic were playing, I might just watch Celtic just because I don't really follow them and I know they're a big
Team,
club.
yeah.
But I'd probably, if it were a big rivalry MLS game versus Celtic playing some other random Scottish team, I probably might just watch the MLS.
There's a
game,
reason why Celtic and Rangers wanted to drop down into the Premier League somehow.
Yeah.
Right? They fought hard for that for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
There's more money, more quality.
Yeah. I mean, but again, to me, it's the top two teams every year, right?
Yeah.
You can put your money on Celtic or the Rangers, and you're probably going to win.
I think our perspective is a little skewed though, because we're in America. Because you could argue, like I used to watch more Liga MX, and it was kind of similar. Like there's the top 4 teams, but they don't always win it because of the system of like, okay, like you go into playoffs, and then you have like, I think in the last 15 years, 8 or 9 different Liga MX teams have won the title, which that shows you that it's not like there's 4 big teams,
right?
But then you've got like northern teams that have stepped up, and then you've got all these other random teams that like will go in a good playoff run and win the league. So that to me is entertaining as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, right? The story behind what's happening, right? Because that's what kind of sucks. I know we're trying to kind of not talk so much about the Premier League, but that kind of sucks in the Premier League. You've got that team that just runs off, and there's a battle for second place, right?
Yeah.
And then the battle for Champions League. It's always, especially if my team's not in it, I really appreciate it being close and there being like this big storyline behind it.
Right, yeah.
It makes all the games more fun to watch
100%.
and everything. So
yeah, man. So, to your question, I think the MLS is growing. It's going to continue to grow. Charlotte's going to come in. We're going to win the MLS Cup, and we're just going to be all happy, man. I mean, it is what it is.
That would make me very happy as well.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy.
I mean, Zoran in his quote, right, on the article that was released by the club today, right? They're buying players that have won trophies so they can taste it and still want to like bring that kind of passion to Charlotte. Yeah,
that's good, man.
I know it kind of made me feel some sort of way. I was like, all right, Zoran, I hear you, man.
You're like, I've never seen my teams win a trophy. So
tell me about it, right? I mean, and that's what I was telling you earlier about Barcelona being so crap this year. It's like you just got to learn to accept it and you own it, right? And you just kind of...
No, I don't want to do that.
And then when you win, when you beat your rivalry like a Arsenal or a Real Madrid or beat a City on the opening day, right? You can talk shit to their fans, right?
Yeah.
Because they can't say anything.
That's true.
And
what do you mean they can throw titles at you all the time?
Yeah, but like get some new material, folks, right?
New material.
Right? Come at me with something else because, yes, we got the Audi Cup. That's all we got, right? And we love it. It sits on our stand, right beside the nightstand in Levy's room.
Okay.
We gave the trophy cabinet back to IKEA when we moved into the new stadium, right? We had to save money too.
Nice.
Good
Awesome.
Point, good point.
Well, this concludes another episode of the Top Mid 90 Show, boys. Thank you so much for coming
man.
on.
Thank you. Anytime. Love it.